So the Bledisloe Cup is nearly here. Australia taking on New Zealand at the MCG. Both teams have been announced and both making quite a few switches, just in different ways. Australia, quite a few changes in the starting lineup. New Zealand, a few off the bench, including a debut, which we will get to in just a little bit of time. But first of all, looking through at this Australian side, Eddie Jones, he has decided to throw a few new combinations in this starting lineup. Number 1, Angus Bell. Number 2, Dave Parecki. And number 3, Alan Alatoa. And he will be the captain for this contest. And this game is a must-win, not just for the Bledisloe Cup, but also for the sake of the Rugby Championship. They are the only side who are yet to get themselves a victory. And the lock-in duo will be Nick Frost at number 4. And number 5 have gone with Will Skelton. Now in their last game up against Argentina, they did have Arnold in that locking duo alongside Skelton. Now going back to Nick Frost, who did play that first game up against the Springboks. In the loose forward trio, it is Jed Holloway at number 6. Number 7, they have gone with Tom Hooper. And then number 8, Rob Valentini. So I think that was probably one of the biggest surprises that we've seen in terms of that fallback, is the fact that they have gone with Hooper in the starting lineup. Of course, Michael Hooper not going to be available. Fraser McWright, I'm not sure if there's an injury there, although I feel he could have been a very good player to have in this contest. Then looking at the back line and this 9 and 10 combination, it is one that a lot of people have wanted to see. They weren't sure whether or not they would get to see it. Definitely not this early into Eddie Jones's coaching. Number 9, Tate McDermott, and number 10, Carter Gordon. 2 young players, both have a lot of talent, and working together is something they haven't had the opportunity to do as of yet at international level in a starting side for the Wallabies. Carter Gordon off the bench up against the Springboks. He did do pretty well. McDermott only getting little glimpses of the game so far throughout the Rugby Championship. So this could be a very exciting combo to watch. Out on the left wing, it will be Marika Kurumbeti once again. In the centres, due to the injury that we did see last week of Len Ikitau, it meant that there was going to be a change. So number 12, they have stuck with Samu Karevi. But then at number 13, similar to what we see for the Reds sometimes, it will be Jordan Petaia. So that could be a very dangerous midfield combination for Australia in this game. At number 14, it is Mark Nawanga-Nidawasi. He is an exciting player to watch. He had quite a few tackle breaks in the last game up against Argentina. If they can get the ball out to him, he will be going one-on-one with Mark Talia, and that could certainly be a contest to watch out for. And then at number 15, to close out the starting side for the Wallabies, it is Andrew Callaway. But now looking through at their bench, John Ulesi, James Slipper, and the Tongan Thor, Taniela Tupou, will be the front row replacements in this game. It is the first time we're seeing Taniela Tupou as well this year at international level. We have already seen him play for Australia A in that game up against Tonga, but he is now match fit, ready to go. For the Wallabies, Richie Arnold will be at number 19. Number 20, they have got Rob Leota. So he is probably a player that a few people thought may have ended up in the starting lineup due to the injury factor that the Aussies have got throughout their loose forward trio, but instead does come off the bench. Nick White at number 21, Craig Cooper at number 22, and then number 23 to close out the Wallabies side. It is Isaiah Perezi, but that is their side. Now looking at the challenges, the All Blacks, they are sitting 2 from 2 at the moment in the wins department. One more here would secure the Rugby Championship. In the front row, unchanged from what we did see in the last game up against South Africa. Ethan de Groot at number 1, Cody Taylor number 2, and then number 3, it is Tyrell Lomax. It has been an effective front row for the ABs for a majority of this Rugby Championship. The only change we have seen made is from that first game up against Argentina, when it was Dane Coles instead did get to start at hooker. Then the locks unchanged from last week also. It will be Brodie Retallick at number 4 and number 5, Scott Barrett. Both men bringing that physicality. Very useful in a line-out. The All Blacks, they will try their best to make the most of it. The loose forward trio, just the one change from the last game up against the Box. Shannon Brazell keeps his spot at number 6. Had a phenomenal game up against South Africa and has probably cemented himself as the starting number 6 now. For the All Blacks heading forward, number 7, Dalton Papali'i. That is due to the injury that we did see of Sam Cane. And then number 8, the captain. It will be Ardie Savia. Now with Cane injured, it meant that there was going to be a new captain in the running. They have gone with Savia as a solo captain, whereas last time when Kane was out. They did a little bit of co-captaincy, but Ardie, he will be standing front and centre of that haka, will be fired up for this Bledisloe fixture. Looking through at the back line, Aaron Smith will be the starting 9 with Richie Mwonga as 10. He did play very well in the game up against South Africa, so keeps his spot in the starting side, and also I believe will have kicking responsibilities in this match. Out on the left wing, it is Mark Talia. A few people expected Leicester Fainanuku to make his return. Doesn't seem to be the case just yet. Instead, Talia does keep his spot. Number 12, Geordie Barrett, and number 13, Rico Ioane. A combination for the All Blacks that has been working very nicely throughout this Rugby Championship. Number 14, a superstar from the last game, Will Jordan. He seemed to be everywhere, getting himself a try, getting himself an assist, getting up for that high ball, which I feel could be a very good strategy for the ABs. Normally out on one of the wings we see Suliasi Vunivalu for the Aussies, and he is a very good man to have going up for a high ball. Nawanganitawasi, I feel like they might be able to use him to that same advantage, but he will be on that other side. Marking with Mark Talia. They're both called Mark, but excitement all around out on the wings for this fixture. And then number 15 to close out the All Blacks starting lineup. He has been playing there throughout the rest of the Rugby Championship. It is Beauden Barrett, but now looking through at the All Blacks reserves, number 16, Samasori Takiaho, number 17, Ofa Tuangafasi, and then number 18, Nepo Lolala. A little bit surprising to not see Tamaiti Williams there after the impact that he was able to have off the bench up against the Box, but I think that they're just trying to rotate everyone, try and get everyone into form heading into that World Cup. Number 19, Sam Whitelock. Now the question mark was whether or not they would be willing to start him if he is just coming back from injury. And I have to say, we don't see it too often that Whitelock comes off the bench for the All Blacks rather than starting, but he could have a real impact here later on in the game. Number 20, Luke Jacobson, his first game of the Rugby Championship. But the man at number 21, it is not just his first game in the Rugby Championship, it's the first game at international level. Cam Roigard gets the opportunity off the bench. We have seen him play very well for the Hurricanes throughout Super Rugby Pacific, can really add that attacking mindset later on in a game, and I expect to see him trying to snipe around the side of the breakdowns, get those passes out quick, see whether or not they can create some magic. Number 22, Anton Leonard-Brown, returning from his suspension after shoulder charging his All Blacks teammate. And then number 23 to close out the ABs, it is Caleb Clark. Little bit confusing still whether or not they're going to go with him for 5 minutes or whether they are going to give him a little bit longer. A lot of people still want to see Damian McKenzie coming off that bench for the ABs. They will have to wait just that little bit longer. But those are the two starting sides. The game is kicking off at 9:45 PM New Zealand time on Saturday night. Should be an absolutely awesome one. And like I mentioned, Bledisloe Cup match 1. It's only a 2-match series, so a must win for Australia if they want to get their hands on the Bledisloe for this year. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of these two lineups in the comments down below. We will be doing the live commentary of the match on the channel, so be sure to check that out as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.